What's happening, Sales Ascender? Sean here, back at you with another high ticket tune-up. And I'm curious, did you ever mess up delivery with a client, or maybe you didn't get something to him on time? Well, in this video, I'm going to speak specifically on how to deal with that circumstance and how to not let it ever happen without having a way to easily use your customer's response to get you out of a jam. Stay tuned. What's happening, Sales Ascender? Sean back at you here with another high ticket tune-up. You probably just saw the new intro. That's right. We are merging Sales Ascenders and FlowChat. Super excited about it. You're going to hear lots more in the future, but for right now, hold on, because we're about to dive into another high ticket tune-up. Excited to be here with you today. It's Tuesday. I hope you had an awesome weekend. Today's question actually came in from Tom. Tom asked this. He says, Sean, man, I was late on some of the deliverables to my high ticket client, and when we connected, he attacked me. So I attacked back. Now I've lost the business. What should I do? Well, Tom, in a lot of circumstances where you as a sales professional will attack back, sometimes what happens when that happens is you've lost the business completely forever. However, depending on the length of your relationship, you may be able to salvage that thing, and it's going to take you going back to your client with your hat in your hand. It sounds something like, Tom, man, I lost my cool over this because it was things that were out of my control, and I was really kind of embarrassed and frustrated that it happened, and unfortunately, I let my emotions get the best of me. I'm guessing that you'd probably never give me a second chance. Is that a true statement? And when you come back to your client like that, he's gonna be like, oh, well, no, I believe in second chances. And maybe then you'd be able to actually salvage that relationship, get back on board, and then use what I'm about to share with you in your business so it never happens again, Tom, come on. Okay, so when something happens like this and you get to this place where your client is pissed off at you for one reason or another, and you need to figure out like how to calm them down. Don't let the emotions get the best of you. The strategy that I use is very simple. For step one, don't attack, fall back. Okay, so there is this line. Okay, so your client is going to flow from start of conversation to close deal and then onward. So if you imagine a straight line like this, and right in the middle there is what we call the action threshold, where he'd actually like give you a credit card. And so if we knew that the line is in the middle and you've done something completely like just didn't work out in your favor, the client's pissed off, you're in a bad spot, what do? Well, don't attack them because you're trying to protect your ego. Rather, fall back on saying things like taking away the entire opportunity. Like most people don't want to let go of something, right? The fear of missing out or the fear of losing something. And so this strategy will work well in your favor. So when I say don't attack, fall back, instead of saying, well, your stuff sucks, Mr. Client, you can turn around and you can say, hey, listen, Tom, man, I screwed up beyond belief. You probably don't even want to hear the story of how and why it happened. It was really messy and ugly, and there's really not much that I could do about it. And I'm assuming because I messed this thing up, whatever it was with you, like it's over. I mean, like we should probably just cancel the whole agreement between each other, shouldn't we? And then sit there and be quiet, because what's going to happen is the client's going to say, it's much easier for a client to say, no, let's figure this out, versus you come at him over the top. He's going to be like, well, I don't ever want to deal with you after all the work I've given you, And so now the client's like, whoa, like, no, you can't leave. I like the service. You were just late on this one little thing. Let's figure it out. Now you've put your client or your prospect in a much better headspace. And once you've gotten them to fall back and you've fallen back, the next one is the super secret here, is use this one simple question to get back on track. And it's so simple. It's as easy as saying, Tom, like, thank you for the understanding. It was a total, here's the story of what happened. Look, I want to get things right with you. So if you were in my shoes, what alternatives would you come up with? Or if you were in my shoes, what is it that you would actually do here to make this right with you? Because what the client's gonna do is start thinking about, what would make me happy, and say, well, if you could do this or this, that would probably work. Most of the time, the client is gonna give you things that are so menial and small that it's very easy for you to do. In some circumstances, they're gonna come back and give you something that's a little bit over the top and really hard to deal with. And in those cases, we'll just kind of walk through and talk through that and come up with some amicable solution. but what you've done is you've put the entire power. So first of all, you've taken away the whole doing business with your prospect or your client. The second thing you've done now is you've come back and you said, hey, like, if you were in my shoes, you got to say that part. If you were in my shoes to make this right, what would you do? What would you suggest? What would the alternatives be? And then your client and you are now sitting kind of not going against each other, but rather on the same side, punching at the same problem. Your client is going to help you create a solution that actually works for you. And so they're going to say something like, well, I need you to do this or this or this, and then that would be fine. And then you just go execute on that. Don't mess that up. And you'll be back in the action right away. And so the secret is just don't attack, fall back, and then ask that one simple question is like, hey, listen, like, now you've heard the story. I know I messed up. Sounds like you still want to keep working with me after that. Look, if you were in my shoes, what would you do to make this better? And then their client's going to say, I would do this. And guess what? That's what their client wants to do. So then do it. There's no pressure on you having to mind read and say, oh, I think he wants to do that. And now you have it, right? And so that is what happens when you miss delivery. You're late for a meeting. You don't get a document to your client on time. Don't be angry and aggressive and attack. Rather, when he comes back or she comes back and she's got some attitude, don't attack. Just fall back and say, look, I'm so sorry. I know this was super important to you, and this one thing that I didn't get to you is not in time. And man, I'm guessing this. We shouldn't even do work together. Is that a fair statement? And they're saying, no, I want to work with you. Oh, okay, good. Like I was really concerned. And see, now I've put myself as a sales pro in a much different place. And I say, well, here's the story of how it happened. And by the way, look, like I need to make this up to you somehow, some way. Like if you were in my shoes, what would you do to fix this? And then your prospect's going to turn around, or your client will turn around and give you the solution, and boom, you got them. And that, my friends, is how you deal with being late on deliverables or messing up with your client. Is totally okay to do that, and just know that. So yeah, you've just been tuned up. And don't forget, there's a sales ascender inside of each and every one of you. Don't forget to smash that like button, share this to somebody who can use it, and subscribe to the channel. And I look forward to seeing you next time.